All right. In this video, we're going to talk about Notes 19, the first section, which is on factoring trinomials. This is something we have done repeatedly, but let's go back and double check, make sure that we are comfortable and confident with it. Problem number one, it says to factor. First thing I always want to ask is, do I have a GCF? And the immediate answer is no, I do not. So what I'm going to look for here is things that add up to positive 2, but first I'm going to start with the multiply to negative 15. So I'm going to write my two little factors here. I'm going to take my x squared. I'm going to split it because I know that, there we go, x times x is going to create that x squared. And then I'm going to look for things that multiply to negative 15. So I know one of my numbers is negative. I know one of my numbers is positive. And then to figure out what actually does work, if you want to, off to the side, you could list out those things that do multiply to 15. So 1 times 15, 3 times 5, and that's it. There's not too many options here. And that 3 and that 5 are absolutely going to make me a positive 2. So if I take negative 3 times a positive 5, that gets me a negative 15. And if I take negative 3 plus 5, that gets me a positive 2. So those are my factors for part A. I'm going to slide on over to part B. And the first thing I'm going to ask myself is, do I have a GCF? The answer for this is yes. Yes, I do have a GCF. So I am going to factor a 3 out of each of the pieces. And that's the only GCF I've got, just the numeric one. Leaving behind x squared plus, let's see, 27 divided by 3 is 9x. Plus 60 divided by 3 is 20. Now here's the thing. I'm going to try to keep going. And what I'm going to try to keep going with is figuring out numbers that multiply to 20 and add up to 9. And I absolutely know I can make that happen. So we're going to keep that 3. That was our GCF. Don't lose it. It is a factor, right? Greatest common factor. So keep it, please. We're going to split the x squared, pretty much like we did in part A. Let's see, two numbers that multiply to positive 20 and add up to positive 9. They're both going to be positive, unlike in 4 and 5. As a quick double check, x times x makes my x squared. 4 times 5 makes my 20. The middle two make 4x, the outer two make 5x, and 4x plus 5x makes my 9x. So that is the factored form, fully factored form for part B. All right, sliding on over to part C here, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing, which is, of course, asking myself, do I have a GCF? And the answer is yes. I can factor out a 2. So if I factor out a 2, n squared minus 10n, and then plus, let's see, that's a 16. So can I make, if I were to try to keep going here, can I find two numbers that multiply to a positive 16 and add up to a negative 10? And I've already got the numbers in my head. I don't know about you guys. So let's see. Start by splitting up your n. So n and n. And then I already said I had it, so let's double check here. To multiply to a positive but add to a negative, both of my numbers need to be negative, and I'm liking 8 and 2. Now, of course, if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm going to check this. Let's see. N times n makes my n squared. Negative 8 times negative 2 makes my positive 16. And then if I take negative 8 times n, negative 8n, and then n times negative 2, negative 2n, that will absolutely add up to negative 10n. So there is the fully factored form for part C. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I'll come in with a different video for the bottom section of this notes, which is another form of factoring. It's called the factor of perfect. Okay, in English and in all the right words. Sorry about that. It's factoring the difference of perfect squares. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns, and we'll see you in the next one.